Hello, my loves, and welcome back to another reading. Okay, Spirit, what is the message that we need to hear today? And I'm starting with my Seasons of the Witch Litha deck. Oh, hello. Okay. We have the Sun Salutation, number 38. And I just pulled this card in the reading from, I believe, last week, where Baldr, the Norse god, wanted to bring us a message. So, I'm just confirming we're gonna be getting another message from Baldr. Do you want this to still be part of this message today? Okay, yes. So we have Sun Salutation, number 38, which reduces to 11, 1, 1, which reduces to a 2. But I'm very much seeing the pillars of 1, 1 here. Praise the temple that carries your spirit. Support is needed. Do we want any more of these? Okay. I'm going to do 2 more of these. What else do you want us to know? What is the overall energy of this reading tonight? Fruit wine, delicious. Also another 1, so 1, 1, 1. And summer berries, 34, which becomes a 7. So with fruit wine, we have, this is a celebratory invitation to the possibilities gifted when you reach beyond yourself. And summer berries, be wary of picking your harvest too early and risking losing the sweetness of it all. Okay, so what I am picking up from these 3 cards here is that Baldr wants us to honor these bodies that we are inhabiting here on this earth, this earthly plane, this very physical plane. Yes, obviously we can touch into the spiritual parts of ourselves, but so much of our experience is through these physical bodies, through our touch, through smell, through the sounds that we listen to in our daily lives, through the tastes of the delicious food and drinks we have, right? We need to, again, this is coming out to me as a root to go into the earth, you know. We need to root ourselves in these physical bodies and to the earth herself. And only then can we, as a tree, spread our branches out high into the sky to reach for that spiritual, that ability to fly, that ability to be completely filled up by wondrous, our wondrous selves. Let's see. Again, reaching beyond yourself. So very much in line with the message that's coming through here. Celebratory invitation to the possibilities gifted when you reach beyond yourself. I think tonight what he's saying is we have already done this work here, right? We have made the wine. We have gotten those fruits from that tree. We have worked hard at that. We have reached up to it. And this can be spiritual fruits here, right? We have reached up into those branches and pulled down those fruits so that we may imbue spirituality, our higher spirit self, and the highest sort of cosmic spirit. We can imbue that within the physical. We're reaching up to bring it down into the physical, to bring this light here. Be wary of picking your harvest too early and risking losing the sweetness of it all. Even if you are not at the point, because I feel like these two cards are kind of like, hey, you are basically there, but the summer season isn't over yet. I mean, physically here, you know, at this point in time in the Northern Hemisphere, it isn't done yet. I've seen a lot of people talking about fall already, even though it's still August. It's not fall yet. All of the harvesting is still not completely done yet. So even though I do feel like there are a lot of us who have been able to pick the fruits of summer and make them into something physical, these fruits of summer, these fruits of the sun, these fruits of spirit, these fruits of the cosmos and the stars, there is still some stuff that can't be harvested yet. There are still some things that have yet to be ripened yet. Spiritually, okay, here physically. And I'm telling you right now, this message is very much for me as well, because all summer I have been feeling such a not a completion, because we're never complete in learning and growing and expanding, right? But there has been sort of an end of a cycle, and I have harvested many, many things, but these things have been mostly sort of spiritual and within myself versus reaping the fruits of physical summer, right? Seeing these results in my physical life. So we could be at a spot here where we know we have done a lot of work. You know, we have pulled down a lot of the fruits that grow in the summer, but we still have some left. But don't don't get impatient, okay? Let everything come in its time. Because if you don't, I mean, unripe berries do not taste very good. And in fact, they can make you kind of sick in a way that's not so very nice, you know? So don't harvest what isn't ready yet. It's coming. It's very, very much coming. They are very nearly at the end here and looking so delightful. But they need to change colors even further. They need to ripen up. They need to build those sugars so that you get the most wonderful, glorious, you know, seasonal, because we have seasons in these lives, right? But this wonderful, glorious seasonal flavor that just doesn't taste good in any other season because that's not its right season. Okay, what else do we want here? Do you want this deck? Nope. Do you want the B Tarot? Yes, okay. Makes sense. It's very summery. So I have my B Tarot next. What is coming for us, Baldr, at the end of this very fruitful season and the end of waiting for the rest of what's coming for us? What is coming for us? What are we going to be ready to receive at this time once the end of summer has come? Leaving behind something that has given us, you know, there's a season for everything, right? There's a season to be collecting this honey, and perhaps this isn't the place anymore to do it, even though it has been fruitful. But perhaps this place is not big enough for us. Perhaps it cannot support the expansion that we need and we've been doing over the course of the summer. I am seeing this as a potential move for some. This house can no longer hold all it is that we do, you know. But however it resonates for you, take that how it is. Also, I'm picking up on the in the Rider-Waite Tarot, the person in the Eight of Cups is walking towards the mountains on a path by the sea, and that indicates a spiritual journey that is needed to be taken at that time, right? Well, that's the thing. We're not quite done with this work, right? But we do need to leave some things behind so that we can expand into the spaciousness and the majesticness of the mountains. We are infinite beings within ourselves and within our spirit, right? And sometimes our lives just can't fit that. Whether that means people, places, or things that no longer can hold everything that we have within us, all of this honey within us, you know, all of this delicious juice, you know, this light that we have brought in, and we don't have space to take in more of these summer berries, more of this spiritual expansiveness. So there is something that is going to be left behind here. Ooh. Okay, and for some of you, this will be some people. Some people you will have to leave behind because they also don't have the room that you need to fully be yourself. And I don't feel like, especially with this card, I don't feel like this is ever a completely permanent thing. It could be that these people do eventually catch up with you, but for now, you will need to leave some people behind. Oh, here we go. Eight of Swords. Okay, and this is the damage of things has already been done. This is not, you know, this skep, this beehive is already dead, right? The flowers around it are dead. We have left this place, and we can be blocked by our thoughts of despair, of feeling like we're trapped in these spaces, but we're not. We can leave very easily. There are no more threats to be here, and in this space there is no more food for the honeybee. There's no flowers here. There's not barely even leaves, right? The flowers even back here are dying. Excuse me. We have the power. We are very capable. We can come out of this door and fly off and find our new, this last little bit here, We can take what we've brought with us and go find this, right? But that requires leaving behind, you know, things that we have had emotional attachments to, things that, you know, people here that we have felt passionate about in the past, who have fulfilled us but no longer are aligned with us, right? And here we are leaving behind our own sort of self-imprisonment into thinking that we have to stay here just because it's here. You know, this is very much giving me the Eight of Jars energy, where this is a bountiful place. And obviously this beehive was once a bountiful place. Look at all of these flowers around here. But this is not the place for us anymore. And this is not the mindset for us anymore. So don't fall into old thought patterns about, I can't do this. I'm not meant to have everything it is that I am going to be receiving. That's never meant for me. You know, all these sorts of thoughts of I'm not good enough, and oh, well, you know, if it's about money things, I've always been poor, I'll never be rich, you know. No, everything can flow into you if you leave this place that can't harm you, but also can't sustain you. Do you want more of these cards, Baldr? No. What do we want next? Do we want this deck? Yes. Okay, and I have my Alchemy of the Spirit deck here. So this is what we need to leave behind, Baldr, in order to receive this very, very clearly. So what are these summer berries that are coming to us? What are the fruits here that are coming our way? We have the goat. Would you like more cards? Yes. 2 more? 1 more? Okay. 1 more card from this deck. All right. I'm going to read from the book. I am getting obviously moon vibes, the moon card vibes, but I want to read what is going on here. Oh, okay. I found the swamp. I just kind of flipped through and the swamp came up immediately. So perhaps this goes here. Yes? No? Okay, but we'll read it that way anyway. Okay. The swamp. Moment of emotions. Feelings are guests, not permanent residents. So that's for the swamp here. Again, we're getting the vibe of allowing yourself to feel all the things that you're going to feel, because you have to leave things behind, right? And we have the sword here as well. It's time to feel before you act. The world moves so rapidly that you might feel the need for an immediate response or action, but don't rush your heart into making decisions. It is an illness of today's society that everything must be addressed instantly. Don't fall into this illusion. Take the time to evaluate your feelings. What is your body telling you? How much energy do you have at the moment? How do you feel about it? Allow yourself the time to doubt, think about it, and sleep on it before acting. So also pulling back into the summer berries here. Don't act too swiftly or your harvest won't be the fullness that it's supposed to be. It won't be the ripeness that it's supposed to be. And therefore, the nutrition, the abundance, the long-lasting effect and deliciousness, the unforgettableness. I mean, summer berries are, every season, when you grow these things in your, your own garden and stuff, those first strawberries, because the season is short, for all these berries, and they have their time, each berry is such a delight and a wonder. And I don't want to pick the strawberries too early. I don't want to do that because they're going to be too tart. And maybe, yes, if some get eaten by a little rodent or something like that, that happens because they'll see the red and they'll want that too, right? It's delicious. We all want this, but we can't rush it. We have to be patient, like alligators and crocodiles. There's a card actually in my Woodland Wardens deck, which was the, I can't remember what it's called, but it's another alligator-like creature, and the card is patience, because these creatures kind of like sit there and are in these sort of dream-like spaces until the right moment when good prey comes around, and then they snatch it up. They don't do anything else before then. And I'm also getting the vibe here of just rest. Enjoy what this season is. Enjoy what this journey has been. And yes, also grieve. Also take your time to feel your feelings. It does you no good. It's basically like, if you don't feel those feelings, if you don't grieve, and if you don't celebrate what you have done and rest, then you cannot get these summer berries. You cannot get this big reward at the end of the season. You cannot get this big harvest. Do we want to just go to the goat and read the rest of the swab? Okay, be conscious of your emotions. You don't want to act when they are bursting into energy. Neither anger nor ecstasy are good places to make decisions. Exacerbated feelings can confuse and cloud your vision. Let your emotions settle and weigh your options first so you can react from a place of serenity and assertiveness. But be mindful that you are wisely taking the time to reflect and not procrastinating on making decisions because you fear moving on. Your mind can be tricky, and what starts as reflection can turn into inaction. Remember, fear is a guest, but it is not a permanent resident. So don't let it get too comfortable. If you've been feeling swamped, then this is your sign to start moving. The hardest part is breaking the inertia. Once you take the first step, things will start moving in the right direction. Yeah, that's exactly what we're picking up here. Okay, and let's get to the goat. We're gonna just slide that up there. You are number 37. Spirit of passion. Fire can create life or destroy it. The spirit of the goat wants to remind you of the desires that lie within your heart. Passion is a powerful force, but it has a light and a shadow, and the line that divides them can easily become blurry. Passion can build castles of dreams, but also burn down bridges of hope. When you put it at your service, it can be the spark of creativity and a powerful motor to ignite projects or relationships. Still, if it becomes a temptation, it can lead you down an unwanted path of toxic behaviors. So passion needs to meet temperance. It is a fire that needs to be tamed by your soul. And taming doesn't mean taking away any of its strength. It means owning and learning how to use this power for the highest purpose. Let passion be the flame that warms your heart and not the chain that harms your soul. That's wonderful. I think that's a really good message of coming out of this, what is coming can be something that is going to fuel you to do the thing that you need to leave this behind in order to do, right? I'm going to say, I know the talk about balance here, you know, I'm seeing this in two sorts of messages here. The first message is about potential love interests coming in for you, romantic interests, and to not become too obsessed, too attached. You know, the way that, like, I remember as a teenager with all those ding-dang hormones, you get so excited and you get so juiced up on the thrill, you know, that fire burning in you for other people. Bring the temperance to that. Allow romantic interests to be what they are without spending every moment of your time away from them thinking about them. Like, it's natural to think about somebody who you think you may fall in love with. It is natural, you know, that's normal. But also, the other side of this is not just, you know, this is tempered within the way we might feel about some new love interest coming in, but this is also tempering our passions diverted into that realm, and also our passions that are fueling our creativity. We are coming upon a time where, because we will have made the space to become more expansive and to bring in that light and bring up what is coming from the earth, you know, we need to just headbutt into our creativity. We need to go for it. We need to climb those steep mountains of the ideas that have been filtered in to us from spirit, from the cosmos. If you've ever wanted a very good book to read about creativity, oh my goodness, what is it called? It's by the lady who wrote Eat, Pray, Love. Big Magic, I think. Big Magic. And in it, she talks about how she believes that inspiration, stories come to us. Stories are ideas for art, anything that we create, right? Come to us because they know, these stories know, they have their own sense. They know that I am the one to birth this story into the world. But here's the thing. If you don't go into that, if you don't take it by the horns and pursue that, climb that mountain of that artistic story, it will move on and it will no longer be yours. And somebody else will get it. And she talked about a few anecdotes about how some of her other writer friends wound up having, you know, the same idea for us, very similar stories, but like months later, after she couldn't quite get that story out. These stories want to be told. So this is a dual sort of, we cannot, love is very important. Love fuels us. Love fuels stories, right? But we have to balance that out with the creation that we are here to do. With the stories we are supposed to tell with our art, with our crafting, with whatever medium it is that you use. And I do very much feel like I'm speaking to fellow artists here, but it doesn't have to be an art. It just has to be purely in some sort of creative thing. There is something that has come to you. And for right now, you need to take hold of that and see it through. I would say take the obsession that you would normally feel with romantic situations. Let the romantic situations be what they are and enjoy that. Let that fuel you. Let that bring you joy. But take that obsession. Take that crush energy and put that towards your idea. Put that towards you obsessing over it every day, which makes you want to work on it every day until you can get this out, until you can climb that mountain. And when you climb that mountain, you are greeted with the cosmos. You are greeted with a vision that the cosmos wanted you to bring to life. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay. Any more messages, Baldr? Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Baldr, for bringing us another beautiful message. Again, I mean, this message is for me as well, right? And I know there are those of you out there who see this who are going to know that it's for you too, that we are on the same sort of paths together. Thank you so much, Baldr, for this message. Thank you so much for being here with me, my loves, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.